Sometimes it takes a different approach to help you unlock your true potential. With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath learning format, you gain relevant skills you can apply to your career right away. Earn your degree from an accredited university and be confident in the quality of your education. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu. Capella University is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. Learn more at capella.edu/accreditation.
You're listening to a Mint podcast brought to you by HT Smartcast.
Good morning, listeners. Welcome to Top of the Morning by Mint, your weekday newscast that brings you 5 major stories from the world of business. It's Thursday, May 9th, 2024, and my name is Nelson John. Let's dive in.
Top of the Morning by Mint.
Indian benchmark indices remained largely muted for the second straight day on Wednesday. BSE's Sensex ended in the red, falling 0.06%, settling below its previous close. NSE's Nifty 50, on the other hand, closed largely flat, dropping 45 points. The biggest spectacle of Indian cricket is in full swing. The Indian Premier League started early last month and is nearing its final leg as 10 teams battle it out for the coveted trophy, which comes with the prize money of 20 crores. The tournament, usually the biggest TV event every year, exhibits a peculiar trend among its fan base. According to a recent study by marketing analytics firm Crisp and agency Cadence, nearly half of IPL's viewers don't consistently support a specific team. However, there are some favorites. The survey, which looked into brand recognition dynamics and involved about 20,000 people, shows that there's a strong emotional connection that goes beyond just victories. Take Chennai Super Kings, for example. A lot of their appeal comes from the Dhoni effect. Despite not topping the table like they do every year, CSK has emerged as one of the fan favorites. Nearly a third of those surveyed from 13 Indian cities said they prefer the team over others. Mint's Varuni Khosla reports on the survey, which revealed that more than 86% of the fans prefer one of the 4 teams. These teams are CSK, Royal Challengers Bangalore, Mumbai Indians, and Kolkata Knight Riders. Varuni also looks at how the league's brand value hasn't budged an inch as ad rates remain on par with previous year. Since you are listening to this podcast, it is fair to assume that you get your information from podcasts. Now, imagine listening to a podcast run by the government. The Consumer Affairs Ministry is taking creative steps to combat consumer fraud with the launch of a new podcast aimed at educating digitally literate consumers about fraudulent practices. The podcast will utilize storytelling to share real experiences of fraud victims and how their issues were resolved. Mint's Dhirendra Kumar reports on the initiative being developed by the Central Consumer Protection Authority. The podcast is set to air episodes every Sunday across various social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, X, previously Twitter, and YouTube. The government is mulling over a proposal to eliminate import duty on business jets, aligning it with a zero-duty policy on commercial jets. Mint's aviation correspondent Anu Sharma, along with Girish Chandra Prasad, reports on the change advocated by the Civil Aviation Ministry. The tax changes aim to stimulate growth in the private charters industry, which has stagnated over the last decade and a half with only 100 to 120 operators. The current tax, a modest 2.5%, has been in place for nearly 15 years under a sunset clause, set to expire at the end of March 2024. The rationale behind this move is to level the playing field between the commercial and private aviation sectors. As of December, India had 381 aircraft and helicopters registered under non-scheduled operations, serving not just large conglomerates like Reliance and Tata, but also offering more flexible travel options without fixed schedules, unlike commercial airlines. However, any decisions on this duty removal will likely wait until the formation of a new government, as indicated by Finance Ministry officials. Demand for enterprise 5G services in India's $254 billion IT industry might be lower than expected this year. Big players like Tata Consultancy Services, Infosys, HCL Technologies, Wipro and Tech Mahindra are bracing for slow growth, particularly from telecom clients who contribute over 10% of their yearly revenue. In FY24, revenue from telecom clients dipped by almost 3% to $8.25 billion. Tech Mahindra took a hard hit, losing 12.1% in annual telecom revenue. Analysts predict a further 3 to 5% decline in telecom revenue for these firms in FY25. Mint's IT reporter Shovik Das reports on this downturn, which could mean a loss of over $400 million in revenue. Amidst general elections, the centre has lifted the ban on onion exports, bringing relief to farmers. Last year, onion exports were banned to stabilize retail prices amidst low production. Maharashtra's farmer protested the ban, demanding a reversal. The recent lift, just before the western state goes to polls, comes with the minimum export price and a 40% duty, citing improved supplies and stable domestic prices. But can the decision be reversed? Current retail prices are 56% higher than this time last year, making exports viable. However, if prices surge due to exports or crop losses, this decision might be overturned. Hopes rest on a promising monsoon to boost local supplies. So, are export restrictions common? Does such a move have other implications as well? Mint Science and Beta tackles these questions in today's Mint Primer. We'd love to hear your feedback on this podcast. Let us know by writing to us at feedback@livemint.com. You may send us feedback, tips, or anything that you feel we should be covering from your vantage point in the world of business and finance. That's all for today. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with a fresh episode of Top of the Morning. Have a nice day.
Top of the Morning by Mint.
Sometimes it takes a different approach to help you unlock your true potential. With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath learning format, you gain relevant skills you can apply to your career right away. Earn your degree from an accredited university and be confident in the quality of your education. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu. Capella University is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. Learn more at capella.edu/accreditation.